Welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and in this episode we are taking a look at a brand new Marvel Select action figure coming to us from Diamond Select. And this one I have been waiting for with bated breath for what feels like over a year, maybe even a year and a half. I'm not quite sure. But today we are looking at the Silver Centurion Iron Man figure from Diamond Select. And I actually mentioned this figure way back when I reviewed the Silver Centurion figure of Iron Man that Marvel Legends came out with. And even back then, I was talking about how high my hopes were for their Diamond Select release of the same character. So we are going to do a side-by-side comparison a little bit later on in the review, but first things first, let's just talk about this packaging. And it is similar to all the other Marvel Select action figures that Diamond's been doing, which is a very, very large box. Now, some of their other lines like Lord of the Rings, Invincible, Star Wars, and basically anything that isn't Marvel Select is coming in the smaller, more economical packages, but the Marvel Select figures are all still coming in this big size here, and that might just be for the sake of consistency with the rest of the line. That said, there's a lot of stuff that comes with this figure, and you could see all of it in this really large packaging here. So that might be part of the reason why they're doing it that way too, so you can really see how much you're getting. And folks, there's a lot in this toy that we're going to take a look at once we open it up. On one of the sides, we have a really nice picture of what the Silver Centurion Iron Man is going to look like out of the box. I think that's the hand-painted prototype, in fact, and that's looking really nice. If you're a collector who puts their figures out library style, this is going to look really sweet in your shelf. The back of the box has the name of this toy that we're looking at, Silver Centurion Iron Man, as well as two images of the toy in action, and you can see just some of the things this toy is coming with. And that's a whole bunch of repulsor beams, but that's not even all that's in this box. We also get a bio here, and while it is well written, and I think it does really talk a lot about who Iron Man is and does an excellent job of that, the one thing it's missing is context, because this is the Silver Centurion Iron Man outfit, and at the time this was meant to be the most powerful Iron Man armor at all. It debuted, I believe, in the Armor Wars series, which is all about Tony hunting down people who are illegally using his armors and trying to take control of all that stuff again. It's a really interesting comic, definitely recommend you guys check it out. But the fact is, they don't really even mention it here. This bio is maybe just a little bit too general and doesn't help us go to the timeline of when this toy is based on. We also get credits to the art team behind this figure, and that includes designer Yuri Taming, who's done a whole bunch of things we've looked at on this channel in the past, and this piece was sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. But that's enough about this mammoth packaging. Let's go ahead and free our Silver Centurion Iron Man out of his plastic confines and take a closer look at him from all angles. Now, once you do open up your Marvel Select action figure, you're going to notice one thing about this, and that's there is a lot of little twisty tie things. Well, not really twisty ties, as you're going to see. There's actually only one twisty tie, and I already removed it. But what they do have is, for every single accessory, little rubber stopper thingies. I don't quite know what to call them, but little tags, I guess, that are kind of holding everything together. There's a lot of them, because there's one for every accessory, and there's one on each arm and each leg of Iron Man too. So get yourself a pair of scissors and get ready to do a lot of trimming and cutting, because, well, that's what I'm about to do. So let me take care of that, and then we'll take a look at our figure. All right, and here is our Silver Centurion Iron Man all out of the box, and we are ready to take a closer look at him at last. And first initial thoughts here, I gotta say, this guy is huge. I mean, he is big. I normally save my figure comparisons for the end of the video, but in this case, I want to show you what he looks like next to that Marvel Legends figure I already talked about. And mind you, I do have my Silver Centurion on a base. He doesn't actually need it. He's standing up just fine on his own. I just wanted to put him there for extra stability. But all right, so you guys can now totally see the difference between these two figures here. So the one on the left, obviously, is our Diamond Select because he is much bigger. The one on the right is the Marvel Legends. So aside from the fact that our Diamond Select figure is towering over the Marvel Legends version, it's just like night and day looking at the details and different things on him. I mean, there's a lot of differences between these two toys here. But, you know, for my money, man, yeah, no, Marvel Legends got it wrong. Marvel Legends totally got it wrong. Diamond Select is picking up the slack where they got it wrong. And really, that biggest thing would be those gigantic shoulder pads that our Diamond Select one has that we do not have at all on our Marvel Legends one. So I'm going to come back to our Iron Man a little bit later on again, but I just want to give you guys a quick little glimpse of what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit more of a comparison later on, but first things first here. Yeah, no, I just got to tell you guys how impressed I am by this figure, because this thing is enormous. And we're going to really actually just get right into accessories, because right now you guys can see the head that's on him is one of those spare heads, one of the special heads, and that head has got him with his special gear. I couldn't quite remember what it does or what the name of it was, but that's obviously not our typical Iron Man head. So I want to do a quick swap out right now, and I'm going to decide which head I want to use, because there are 3 heads total. There's the one you currently see in his head, there's this one here, which is just the plain Iron Man head, and then we have an unmasked Tony Stark head. So let's go ahead, let's do the Tony Stark head first, just because I want to try that out. And let's see how the head swapping goes also. Well, okay, I didn't even finish my sentence and it came off. Well, let's see if we can get it back in just as fast. Well, okay, yeah, that was not anticlimactic, just wow, that actually was a lot faster than I expected. So that's how he looks with that head on, and that went on like a breeze. I mean, that was so easy to get it on him, and the head looks pretty good too, although I will admit, looking at it right now, my viewfinder, it looks a little Hitlery. It might just be because the mustache is, I don't quite know, but you know, maybe the mustache needs to be a little bit thicker, a little bit wider. Maybe he needs to look a little bit less angry, but to be quite fair, that would actually kind of fit with the tone of the comics. But the head looks proportionate, and it's a pretty good looking Tony Stark head. It might not be my favorite, but it's a good looking head. And I appreciate that it's there. It's nice to have an unmasked Tony Stark head with these figures. And even if I don't use it as a Tony Stark, I could probably pop it out and put it onto another figure and just make it a normal civilian or something like that. Or I could probably get one of my mini Diamond Select John Wicks and make that basically a suited version of Tony Stark. But really the head that matters the most of all is this one here, our proper helmet head. So let's go ahead and one more time, do another swap out, and let's get this head on. Let's see if this one goes in just as easy. I hope it does. And yeah, okay, just as easy it went on. Wow, that's really nice when a toy just works just like that, super easy. And there he is, and wow, this looks really good. This looks really great. This is exactly what I was hoping to see in this figure. Like, this really is what I wanted to get. It looks majestic, it looks big, it looks like the Silver Centurion should feel. Because the Silver Centurion is, again, supposed to be the most powerful armor, or at least at that point, the most powerful armor Tony Stark made. And this figure really captures that feeling. Everything about it. And I guess now we can talk about the outfit a little bit more. So yeah, you guys already saw the Marvel Legends figure, and you know what I'm talking about when I say how imposing this should look, and I think this looks imposing. And the fact that you can make these kind of silly 80s style Norma shoulder pads look imposing, that says a lot about this toy. But yeah, the detail is really nice. I mean, this looks like it was pulled straight out of the comics. Everything is there, even his backpack, which is really cool. And that little back section is also quite huge. I mean, look at the size of that thing. Everything about this just screams big, and yeah, it screams powerful to me. They really nailed that feeling. It's very clear the message with this toy was power, and it's really coming out. It's really translating well in action figure form. Something else I really, really like about this too is look at the metallics on this guy. I mean, really, he is meant to be metallic. And you know, you saw the Marvel Legends, they had the legs and the arms of the silver correct, but the rest of it really didn't feel as metallic. But this, looking at this guy here, I mean, this looks shiny. This looks metallic. This looks like it is really metal. It's not. But the paint job is really wonderful. It's just perfect. Like, this is how it should look. This is how he should feel. It kind of reminds you of like those 90s Iron Man cartoon action figures and how like that vac metal look was. You know, it's very much like in that kind of style. And they didn't do that with the Marvel Legends. You know, again, I'll just slide them over here. It's pretty plain. Like, this is not metal at all. This is not vac metalized. It's just plastic, like straight out of the mold. No real effects to it to make it look more shiny or anything like that. Whereas our Diamond Select figures, they went all out. They included all that shine. And, you know, that makes a big, big difference. You can really see it here. Without that shine, you're not quite getting it. So you guys already saw the two heads we have here, and I'll put them right now side by side with our figure so you can just see them lined up here, because I want to show you just now all the accessories he comes with. So that base he's on is not the base that Iron Man comes with. That's actually just a generic Diamond Select figure stand, which you can order from them. So they come in clear, which is what Iron Man's on right now, or you can also get it in black, which is what I have here. This is how they come in a bag of 10, and you can order those, I believe, directly from Diamond Select's website, or I'm pretty sure you can get them from Amazon. If I find them, I'll make sure to put a link in the video for them. So while he doesn't come with the stand you currently see, he does come with this stand here. We're going to have more on that in just a few moments. So this figure, which also boasts 16 points of articulation, which we're going to talk about in a bit, also includes 10 hands. You currently see the closed fists on him. Here are 4 additional hands, 2 additional sets left and right. And these are all basically just like wide open hands, meant to be shooting different beams out. You have a pair of those. You've got a pair of these hands that are a little more grabby, meant for gripping things, meant for holding some stuff maybe, but also still kind of a repulsor beam hand as well. So we'll throw those there. But really what makes this figure stand out and look so tremendously awesome is all the different repulsor beam blasts that this Iron Man has. And that's what we're going to take some photos of later on. So there's one of the effects, which is the blue beams, which looks really, really cool. Yeah, wow, that's awesome looking effect. And then we have these knuckle blasting hands. Look at this effect, you guys, like straight out of the comics. This is awesome looking. And I gotta let you guys know too, these like little shards you see, they are so sharp on the end of this figure. They are really painful. So hey, that's your diamond death trap with this figure, because every Diamond Select toy always includes at least one diamond death trap. So we already have a ton of stuff here on this table, but can you believe it? That's actually not all this Iron Man comes with, because we still have this here. This is his chest beam, which you can pop out this piece for and put in there. We're going to do that in a few moments also. And as you saw in the packaging, he also has 2 things for his rockets, for his feet rather. You can put these on the bottom of his feet and you can make him like he's flying. And that leads us to what I think will be the most interesting accessory for this figure. And that is this piece right here. So what the heck is this? Well, if you see my Avatar The Last Airbender figure reviews from Diamond, you'll know what this does. This piece here is for the base, for that stand that we looked at earlier. So what we're going to do is slide that right on into there, and we're going to see if we can actually get our Iron Man figure to do some flying today, you guys, because I'm really, really curious about that, especially if you consider just how big and just how heavy this piece is. Can this little base here actually support his weight, or will it snap under pressure? Which we have seen happen before. If you guys watched our Invincible figure reviews, we saw one of them break on camera. So let's hope that doesn't happen today. Let's give it a shot. I'm just gonna slide all these very sharp accessories out of the way for a moment. So let's see what we can do here. And conveniently, there is a hole right on his belt line there, and that's how we're gonna attach him onto this thing. So let us see. I'm gonna keep him, I guess, straight up at the moment. Let's see what we can do here. So first off, yes, it does fit, but I can already see he's gonna have some hard times here. Let's see what we can do to maybe make this a little bit easier for him. He's already down. And not so much. How are we gonna do this, you guys? Maybe if we lean him backwards a little bit, that might do the trick. Like, I can definitely tell you he is very heavy, so there's no way this can hold him unless maybe you screw this in more. I don't know if that's gonna actually do the trick. But yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to hold his weight here. So after some more playing with it, I can't quite figure out the best way to get him actually standing on this base. So there's got to be a way to do it. I'm just not quite figuring out. So this is where I rely on you guys out there. If anybody out there who's watching and telling me the best way to get this stand to actually support his weight, I would love to know. So please tell me in the comments. But just for the sake of showing off how these little hot feet are going to work here, I just want to show you how it's going to look. So if you actually do figure out how to get the stand to go at some point, well, not so much there. That didn't break. That just popped out. But this is how he would look if you actually got him with all these little things going. And that's pretty cool looking. That does look really nice. It's just a matter of finding a base that can support that weight. So as far as accessories go, we already saw how easy it was to pop the heads on and off. Let's see how the hands fare. And I'm going to try, let's see, maybe I'll try one of each just for some fun. So there we go. That came out really, really easily. That went in super easily. Okay. We're off to a really strong start here. Let's do some fist knuckles, why not? Or you know what? Let's just do a matching pair, because that's what's right in front of me right now. They are very sharp, these little blue bits here, but they are going in really nice, really easily, so that is good. And, oh man, that looks really cool. Wow, that's how those look. That is tremendous looking. Look at how long that blast is, too. I mean, these are enormous beams. Look at the size of those. That looks great, you guys. The hands look really, really wonderful. That's awesome. Yeah, that is really cool. Well, all right, let's go ahead. I'm actually going to try this chest piece too. Let's see, how do we remove this? That's going to be a question. Looks like, okay, it's a little tight, but I think there's a little thing you just kind of yank it out from the side. All right, yeah, that one takes a little bit of pressure to get it out there. It's a little bit painful under the nail, but you can do it. Don't give up. Let's try this chest effect. Speaking of don't give up, don't touch those sharp bits because, oh man, they're really sharp. But here we go. Look at that. Now we've got the chest beam along with the hand beams. Man, okay, now we're playing with power. Now we're playing with power. This is looking really, really wonderful. Let's swap the other hands out. Let's see how those are gonna look. Let's get some knuckle lasers. I don't know what the heck to call them. I don't know how to say them without making it sound really dirty either. Yeah, no, I'm just not gonna touch that one, you guys, but here we go. Again, sliding in very easily. No problems at all with this. And look at that. He is at full power now. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Wow. That looks so cool on camera. So much happening with this toy. There's so much here. So many accessories. Wow. That's really impressive. And again, I don't want to keep comparing him to Marvel Legends because he really is a whole world away from Marvel Legends. But one more time. Hey, look. It's our good buddy Marvel Legends Silver Centurion Iron Man. Hey, Silver Centurion, what accessories did you come with? Well, truth be told, the Silver Centurion Iron Man from Marvel Legends actually did have a few accessories. It did come with an additional pair of hands, which was a set of fists, and he also had 6 different energy beams, but they were nowhere near as interesting as what we have with the Diamond Select figures. They were basically just all one color. I think they're all yellow, in fact. They were different sizes, but nowhere near as impressive as what we're getting here. I mean, the fact of the matter is we're getting 3 different colors with these beams, too, and look at the size. I mean, the size, the color, the detail, the paint job. Marvel Legends had nothing close to how good this looked here. So I took all the different bits out right now because I want to talk about articulation, and I think that is going to be where the one moment that Marvel Legends does, in fact, actually beat us in this case. So there are 16 points of articulation on this figure. That includes a ball-jointed head, which you already saw in action. We have arms, but well, all they can actually do is really turn left to right. I mean, they can actually go up and back a little bit, but very, very little because these shoulder pads are so enormous, and that is where Marvel Legends does beat him out because these, they made his little shoulder things completely different. So he can, in fact, raise the roof and have good times at parties, while this Iron Man is going to be left sitting on the wall, twiddling his thumbs and doing very little else. So there's the one thing you can do with the Marvel Legends that you can't do with the Diamond Select, and that's move his shoulders, because these shoulder pads do not move. That said, you've got ball-jointed, single joint I should say too, elbows. The wrists do move and they do flex as well. The torso piece can move a little bit. That's what you see right now. The waist does not move. Most Diamond figures do not have movable waists. Don't know why, but that's the thing that they just don't do. But our legs are super flexible. I mean, look at that. He's doing a full Iron Man split, which is something you can probably never ever expect to see the real Tony Stark do. Real being subjective. We have ball-jointed elbows, single joint elbow, so that's kind of cool. And it looks like the boots, I don't think there's any articulation to those, but we do have a ball joint on the ankles, so you got some flexibility there. So, you know, articulation is not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's kind of just somewhere in the middle. And you know, like I said, you do lose a few points because you can't actually move those shoulders up and down at all. So let's do a few other figure comparisons here. And since we're talking Marvel Legends, I'm going to bring in some movie figures because those are always standouts from Marvel Legends. I got myself a Iron Man Mark 7 armor, and I've got Thor from Thor Ragnarok, so you can see as he falls over, well, there he goes. And I have a Thor from, well, Thor Ragnarok, so he's having a little trouble standing up today, but that's how he looks next to these figures. And, you know, I gotta say, too, that Mark 7 just looks so great. It's one of my favorite armors. And it actually looks pretty good next to him, too. And that might be, again, because there is some more metallic stuff happening in that armor, and that's why he's looking pretty good. Same with Thor. This is one of my favorite Thor figures that they've done. You know, we're gonna see how the Love and Thunder toys look, but that's a different review. This looks pretty awesome. So standing up next to these guys looks pretty good, but you can still see, obviously, he's in a size of his own, and it's not the same scale as Marvel Legends. That's why we got a Tri-Mount standing next to some Diamond Select figures, and here he is next to Boba Fett from their Star Wars line. You can see looking much better, much more in scale. And that's kind of fun, actually, just now thinking about this. The fact that I have a Diamond Select Boba Fett that can now basically stand side by side with an Iron Man, that's pretty cool. So he's in scale at Diamond Select figures, of course. How is he with McFarlane toys? Well, let's try him now. So he's in scale with Diamond Select figures. How is he scaling with other companies? Well, he's going to have an easy time scaling up with McFarlane toys over here, although maybe our Ultramarine from Warhammer 40k is not the best example because he's a big boy, but to be quite fair, they're both in armor, so I think it's somewhat of a fair comparison. But how about maybe someone a little bit more in size, maybe someone just as rich as Tony Stark? How about we bring in our recently reviewed Dark Knight Returns figure of Batman? And yeah, perfect size, you guys. That's the exact scale we're looking for. That's a weird super duper pair right there. Talk about crossovers. So yeah, there you go. That's how he's going to look size-wise as well. So that's our look at Marvel Select Silver Centurion Iron Man figure. This one knocks out of the park. This is an easy home run. This is one of those figures where all I'm going to really say is just go buy it, because, man, I've said enough about how awesome this thing is. So many accessories, great paint job. The look is completely there. They nailed that. The one real only negative I can possibly think about is the fact that his shoulders can't go any higher than what you see currently right now. But I don't really care, you guys. It's an Iron Man figure with giant shoulder pads. It could really only work if they did it the way Marvel Legends did. And yeah, they totally could have done it that way. They didn't. That's kind of just their design choice. Do I like it? No. Obviously, that's the one thing that's going to drop it down from being an otherwise completely perfect version of the Silver Centurion Iron Man to being a not quite so perfect, but still really amazing version of that toy. And for my money, it's still the superior version of it too. The Marvel Legends one is nice because at least it's in scale with the Marvel Legends, but I don't really necessarily need that because I want this armor in particular to look big, to look menacing, and to look powerful. And if you want that too, this is the one to get. So again, I highly recommend this, and if you want to buy it, I'm going to have links to Amazon where you can go pick one up for yourself using our affiliate links. And if you use our affiliate link to buy this figure or anything else from Diamond, or really anything else on Amazon.com, it helps us out at no extra cost to you. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this figure too, and whether you prefer this over the Marvel Legends or vice versa. So until next time, I'm Matthew, this has been Nerd News Today, and our look at Diamond Select's Marvel Select Silver Centurion Iron Man figure. We'll see you guys here next time with more action figure reviews and everything else we do here on the channel. So until then, we'll catch you guys later.